Happy Tuesday, Fiber Fuelers. I'm so excited. You guys, last night we were on fire. Actually, we've been on fire since we started the group, but last night we have a whole new challenge for the week. So you guys, let me recap a little bit what went on. So if you're new to the group, welcome. We are so excited to have you. I'll give you a little bit of housekeeping, what's going on, what's in this group. And then if you are an OG, which we started last Monday, welcome back. My name is Marcia Prince, co-founder of Plant Chicks, and we are running this challenge with Jackie Tarleton, the other co-founder of Plant Chicks, and Dr. B. So first things first, you guys, I hope you got your fiber-fueled books. If not, you can join at any time. You can do the challenge anytime. Order your book. You can always get the audio. It comes with the PDF so that you have everything. I actually read the book and I listened to it on the audio because I pick up different stuff. So do that. There's a link, I think, I'm not sure where it is in the group. I think we pinned it. So there's announcements at the top. Look, we have all these different announcements that we pin, from our lives to the questions to major announcements. So look at the pinned announcements up there and you will find everything that you need that's at least important. We do have some helpful fiber fuelers in the group. We have the two Ashleys that are slaying the day, or they slay every day, but they are very, like our welcome crew. They are very welcoming. They are showing everybody around the group, so we thank you. Hi, Annette. Hey, Jackie. Hello, hello. So basically, it's a very, very welcoming group. You guys, you see the fire that's going. So if you're new, please introduce yourself. If you're an OG, please help the new people out. So just know that we did make a couple of changes last night. If you saw the live from last night, we did pin it up in the announcements. If you haven't watched it, please watch it. It's kind of funny. There was a big storm last night here in Austin and I was frozen, like frozen in time. So Jackie and Dr. B were talking and they're like, why does Marcia have like this smiling Joker face? And I literally was like, it froze on my face smiling, and every time I'd move. So you just had to laugh at it and make fun of it. So I was like doing robot moves like, so ignore me and the whole live because Jackie and Dr. B basically had to take it over. It was so funny. But anyways, we did a couple changes for this week's challenge. We were going to amp it up. This week we want the fiber fuelers to introduce a new plant food into your gut microbiome. Now, something that you've never tried before. Maybe you've seen it and you're like, what is that? Or, oh, I don't want to try that. Or I don't like that. Or whatever. So we want you to try something new. We want you to take a picture or video of what you're going to try, explain it to us, give us the story behind it, right? So we want to know. Another thing is too, you guys are posting your meals and counting your plant points, and we're like, yes. So you guys are doing great. Keep posting your plant points. But another thing is, we want this week, we want to see the faces behind the fiber fuel. So we love seeing your meals, of course, but we want to see your faces with your food or faces with you getting the book. So we want to get to know you better. You guys, we're among friends here, and we just don't want it to be like, oh, you're some other internet person. We want to get to know you. And so just introduce yourself. Like I said, we love seeing your face because we want to put the name to the face to the food, right? So anyways, and then Dr. B is going to have a competition. He of course up the ante because I said, hey, let's do a new food, introduce the gut microbiome. He wants you to pick the craziest food. So if you guys find the craziest plant food, fruit, vegetables, something, nut, seed, or grain that's unique, he wants you guys obviously to post it, the story behind it, all that, and we are going to vote as a collective group. You guys are going to vote who wins the top 4 fiber fuelers of the craziest fruit or vegetable, nut, seed, or grain that you can pick. So we're excited to see what you come up with. So that is this week's challenge. Now, I know a lot of people are like, oh my God, week 1 went by so fast. I don't want it to be over. We had a lot of people requesting that it goes on beyond the 14 days. So guess what? We're extending it beyond the 14 days. Woo! I know, it's exciting. So it's going past the 14 days. We were talking about another week or 2 weeks, and since this program is 28 days, we are going to have it for 2 extra weeks. So you guys, if you just joined, you have a few more weeks to play. And keep inviting your friends and your family and people that you know, because we are doing this for we're going into week 2. So we're on day 2 of week 2. So we've got a couple more weeks to go. And every week we're gonna have different challenges for you. And let's just play. Let's have a good time playing, because if it's not fun, why are we doing it, right? So on that note, I did buy something because I bought it yesterday because we were talking about it. I bought something that I've never tried. I've always seen it. I almost thought it was gross. So I was like, what is that? So this is called a tamarind. I don't even know if I say it right. If you guys help me on here. I know in Spanish it's tamarindo dulce. Tamarindo dulce. But it's tamarind or tamarind, I don't know, in American. So it says it's sweet. I've never tried it. It looks like kind of like an edamame and a peanut rolled into one. You see this? I know some of you guys have had it. I've seen tamarind in a drink. They make like a sweet drink, like a fruit drink out of it. So I thought I would try this in front of you guys. And I'm like, you know what? It does look strange. It comes in a box and it looks like this little pod thing right here. Like, how weird does that look? And it looks in between, like I said, like an edamame, but yet a peanut. So anyways, I thought I'd try it. It was easy to crack. Thought I'd try it in front of you. Okay, you guys, it looks really creepy. Ah! All right, enough of the theatrics. So it looks kind of okay, so this is part of trying something new. This is something I would never try because it looks disgusting, but it says it's sweet, so let me give it a try. First off, I'm not sure how you eat this. Oh my gosh, it really is sweet. It kind of tastes in between like a date, an apple, and a peach, and roll into one. It's a very unique taste. I really am not sure how you eat this. So it does, it kind of is datey, and it's sticky. Okay, this is actually pretty good. Look how creepy that thing looks. It almost looks like a bug. You know what I mean? Like an ant or a cockroach or some kind of caterpillar thing, but I'm not sure how to eat this, so I had to figure that part out. Okay, you guys saw me a tamarind. What, a tamarind or tamarindo dulce? So okay, I had that. Hey Robin, this live is for you. I have a special thing all in mind for you because of all your questions about fiber-fueled muscle. Okay, so anyways, that was cool. I tried a new fruit that I've never tried before. I've always seen them. They look disgusting. And it actually tastes pretty good. I just don't know how to eat it. So if you have any tips, pointers, or tricks, if you heard this before, how do you eat it? Let me know on the comments. Okay, so today we're getting into today's live. Okay, today's live is all about fiber-fueled muscle. And I kind of want to give you a little bit of my background on this in case you're like, why is this chick talking about fiber-fueled muscle? Because this is what I've been getting my whole life. Oh my God, that girl looks so skinny. She looks so skinny. She looks so skinny. Believe it or not, I grew up as a skinny kid, but I was in the bodybuilding world for 10 years. I was a bodybuilder, believe it or not. It can happen. It happened to me. But it takes years. It takes time to build muscle. So the interesting part of my journey is I did train part of my journey as a meat-eating muscle, I would say meathead. And the other part of my journey, because of eating that high-protein diet, I landed in the hospital. That's my journey, so I'll tell you the story. But part of my other journey is going from a meat-eating competitor to a plant-based competitor. So I know both sides of eating meat, competing as a bodybuilder, and on the other side, competing as a plant-based bodybuilder. So story time, I would say long story short, but if you know me, my stories aren't short. And I do say long story short, and then it carries on for days now. But I will try to keep this long story shorter than longer, okay? Yes, Kelly, it takes time to build muscle frame. Yes, that's so true. It takes a lot of time. So when I see these 90-day programs, like build muscle in 90 days, that's just you're getting there. It doesn't mean you're going to build your dream body for sure. It doesn't matter if you do have muscle or you don't. Everybody's different. So let's get into this. So I ironically became a health and fitness coach. I was a trainer, nutritionist 15 years ago. And I stumbled onto bodybuilding accidentally. I was a personal trainer for a couple years in Texas, and I was training, and I trained like just the regular functional fitness when I first started the beginning of my career. And I was just learning how to eat nutrition. I got rid of processed food, and I was starting to eat healthier foods, cleaner foods, right? So the first couple years of my, I would say, career as a personal trainer, I wasn't into bodybuilding. I was just into health and fitness, trying to clean up my diet, eat more whole foods, and functional training. I've always been called a skinny kid, so I did want to put on muscle. I was just one of those kids who could eat anything. I worked at McDonald's for 3 years. This is a funny story. I ate it every day. When the guy from Super Size Me was like getting sicker and fatter, I was like, dang, I don't know what my insides look like, but I was still the skinny kid after working at McDonald's for 3 years. I worked at Taco Bell for a couple of years. I worked at a bar. I was probably an alcoholic for like 4 years. So you guys, I've been through my journey of eating really bad foods that were processed and drinking copious amounts of alcohol, and I was not healthy. But I mean internally, because outside visually to other people I looked healthy because I was skinny. Skinny does not equate health. And don't get me wrong either, on the flip side, somebody with a six-pack ripped with a lot of muscles, they may not be healthy either. They may be doing the wrong thing as well. I soon found out this in the bodybuilding world, how it can be done very unhealthy. So there's different aspects to this whole world of health and fitness and building muscle. You could do it the right way and you could do it the wrong way. And I've done it both ways, and it's, you know, I'm not saying it's not right or not wrong, it's your journey. It's like how you get through there. So fast forward, I was reading an Oxygen magazine. Yes, skinny does not equate healthy, right? And somebody who is ripped with a six-pack, you know, you're like, wow, they look all muscular, doesn't equate as healthy either, because I know a lot of people who eat processed foods and they just genetically look blessed like that. And my husband is one of them. He was ripped and shredded the 8-pack, but ate the standard American diet. So it doesn't equate health when you physically look at somebody, right? It's always about the journey, the knowledge, the skills. So just know that. You have it in your tool belt, little tools of knowledge, right? So a few years later, I was engaged to my husband, and I would be looking through Oxygen magazine, and I'd always see Miss Bikini Universe. And back then, they didn't have IFBB Pro, the bikini and all that stuff. They didn't have it. I'm old school. I'm OG bodybuilder. This is when magazines are popular, because magazines aren't very popular. So I would get my Oxygen magazine, open it up, and I was so excited. I would do all the moves in the, you know, in the magazine, look at all the girls with their six-packs and their shoulders, and I was like, oh my gosh, I want to be, you know, ripped and shredded and build this body. And I didn't know what it took. At the time, I was like, I'm gonna look like this. I didn't realize that's not a look. It's a lifestyle. These girls had to work hard for years, eat the right diet, nutrition, train to look like this. And you know, there wasn't a look at all, it was a lifestyle. I didn't realize that at the time until I got into it, that I would be embarking on this journey of a lifestyle. And so I did. I was taking tips from these pros at the time, and the largest title you can win in the health and fitness world at the time was Miss Bikini Universe. And back then, like the girls, I would say bodybuilder girls, they had fitness, they had figure, and then they had the bodybuilders, but they didn't have a bikini category. The bikini category was Miss Bikini Universe. And so I was already a personal trainer, training for 3 years. At the time I was super fit, but I had to amp up my game. So I started doing bodybuilding to put more muscle on, and eating a lot more meat, because I thought meat equated protein equated muscles, right? I think we all do that. We're like, oh, more meat means more muscle. I learned the hard way, more meat does not mean more muscle, because genetically, I cannot put on a lot of muscle just because of genetics. I was just the tall, thin, skinny girl, and it took me a long time to gain weight. I was eating copious amounts of food. I mean, I literally could be pounding 5,000 or 6,000 calories a day, like quality calories, not like junk food. And I was not putting on any muscle. And in fact, I actually got a little more toned, but if I dieted down, I was really ripped and lean. So I just had more of a lean bikini body that was fit. I still had a six-pack, I still had glutes, all that, but I was just tinier than the rest. me being 5'9" and taller, I don't make an excuse for that at all, because I've trained women that are 6 foot tall and really muscular. It's just genetics. So at the end of the day, I was like, oh, I don't have the genetics for bodybuilding. And there's nothing wrong with that. I wasn't gonna take steroids, nothing wrong. But to my surprise, I won, believe it or not, against 122 beautiful women from all over the world. And I was so nervous, so scared, and I won the title in Miss Bikini Universe. It was on ESPN2, they had the whole camera crew. It was very shocking for me that I won that. And I was kind of like, why me? You guys, if you know me, I'm an introvert. I'm super nervous all the time and scared. I mean, now that I'm older, I'm a little more confident. But back in those days, I never had walked on a stage, let alone walked on a stage in a bikini. And I was showing off my little tiny muscles. So going out on the stage, and I was actually competing in the top 10 against my idols. There was Jennifer Nicole Lee, Ava Cowan. There was just so many of my beautiful idols that were in this top 10. And I had no idea that I had won this. This is how spaced out I was. I was so nervous, I was so scared. My lip was quivering. I was on stage and my lip was like this, like, ah. And I kept trying to breathe through it, but you know, your chest is like, because I've never been on stage. Of course, I'm with 122 beautiful women from all over the world. A lot of them had been training for 5 or 6 years. Some of them were bodybuilders. I was pretty new to it, 3 years into it, just a different genetics, a thinner, you know, I would say not really a model type. I was too muscular for modeling, because I tried my hand at modeling, it didn't work. I always got, you're too muscular, you're too big. Because I'm 5'9", 145 pounds, and I was seen as big. Whereas in the fitness world, I was considered too skinny. So I kind of was in this in-between world. I wasn't, I would say, skinny enough for modeling, but I wasn't big enough for the fitness and bodybuilding world. It was so crazy. So I heard it on both ends. So, and to my surprise, I won Miss Bikini Universe. It was very shocking. So let me tell you the little story about this. I will never forget. I was zoned out that I couldn't believe I won top 10. I was like, oh my God, I got in top 10. So I was like freaking out. They call us back on stage in no particular order. And you have to do your walk again across the stage, and they recalibrate the scores. Like, who of these girls are gonna be top 10? And I'll tell you what, I was the skinniest girl on the stage. I mean, I was lean and skinny. These girls were like, you know, boulder shoulders, 6-pack that were like bricks, you know, these glutes, you know, and I'm like, and in my head I thought, I don't have this. I'm not gonna win this, nothing. So in my head, I already defeated myself. And then they called in 5th place, 4th, 3, 2, and the winner of the 2007 Miss Bikini Universe is, and they say my name wrong. I zone out, I don't even think it's me. I think it's going to be Jennifer Nicole Lee, because she has actually been on all these covers. She won Miss Bikini America. And of the 6 that were back here, the 4 that were placed, I was like, it ain't me. And sure enough, the girl next to me, we have this all on video, and I have to pull it up. She goes, and I like look at her and I go, what? She goes, it's you! You won! Go up there! And I was like, me? And they repeat my number, but they say my name wrong, because it's one of those hard names. It's spelled with a Z. It's Marcia Prince, but they butchered it. That I was like, oh, it's me? And literally, I felt like I was walking in slow-mo. I was like, oh my God, I can't believe I won this. It was one of the highlights of my life of competing, because never have I been in a competition before. Just kind of like did it out of fun. My husband's like, you should do it. You keep looking at Oxygen magazine, do it. So I did it, I won it. It was such a magical journey. And the reason why I say that is because I kind of got thrown into the bodybuilding world. Instantly, I was on magazine covers. Like, I've been in which is kind of crazy to me, over 200 magazine covers and layouts in the fitness world. So it was such an amazing time. Wasn't even trying to be a fitness model. I was just trying to do a competition just as a personal trainer, and then it went to this whole thing. So I ended up becoming a fitness model and / in the bodybuilding world for 10 years. And I really got into it after I won, because I was getting called to do these magazines. I was in these covers, these layouts, and there was a lot of pressure that goes with it, because I was seen as this different type of bikini body. I wasn't the typical, I would say, fitness bikini body, because I was tall and I was leaner muscle. I wasn't like, you know, stacked like some of these girls, and it was very unique. So I did not know that, you know, I would have my mark in this world. It just kind of accidentally fell into my lap. But I did ride the ride. I thought, okay, this is fun. It's out of my comfort zone. I will do this. And I did. So I rode the journey. It has been beautiful. Through my journey, though, I got into bodybuilding majorly, and I got into powerlifting because, you know, I was like, let me hire somebody that knows bodybuilding. Let me hire somebody that knows powerlifting so I can put on more muscle. Ironically, a couple of years later, we found out genetically, unless I take steroids, which I was not going to do, genetically, I just did not have the body to put on mass. So I was just like, darn. But that didn't hold me back from still doing it. I still did it. And 3 years later, IFBB came out with the bikini category because they saw the Miss Bikini Universe, the bikini girls were starting to take over the fitness and bodybuilding world. So they made a category for bikini girls. And I was there, one of the very first IFBB bikini pros. I was the third one ever. My two friends, Stacy Oster, okay, and Chelsea Montez won first and second pro card. I was the third pro card ever to start the whole IFBB bikini thing. So that was cool. But on the flip side, they were like, she's old. She's 35 years old and she won her pro card. And I was like, great, I'm being called old. It was the funniest thing. But back then, age was truly like, it's a big deal. But now in the bodybuilding world, when you say you're 35, 40, or 50 and you're competing, people have mad respect. So it's completely different. So 5 years into my bodybuilding journey, I was eating copious amounts of meat. And then I would say the diet, the bodybuilder diet to put on muscle, to lean out, there's a whole method to the madness to put on muscle and lean down. They're not the same, they're completely different. And I landed in the hospital. So it's kind of similar compared to, I know 35 isn't old, I know, but back then they made it sound like it and I felt like it. I'm like, because I'm 45 now and I think I'm young. I'm like, oh, 45 is young. So after 5 years of eating this competitive bodybuilder style, this high animal protein, I would say moderate fat, very low carb, and this was dieting down because when you add muscle, you add more carbs. There was a method to the madness. I would say it's in between paleo and keto, and that's what I did. I was by the book. I wanted to do this and put on muscle because I was being seen in magazines. I was being flown around the world. I had a huge contract with Gaspari Nutrition. I couldn't let anybody down or even myself. But unfortunately, I got major kidney stones and I'm like, oh my gosh. And of course, if you had a kidney stone before, they're not fun. Unfortunately, my kidney stones, I could not pass them. I had to go to the hospital and they had to break it up. I forget the name of it, it's litrophy, I can't remember, but they break it up with a laser so you're able to pass it. And you would have think after the first time I would have learned my lesson. I did not. It took me 3 times of getting my kidney stones lasered. And it was always when I dieted down for my competition, went low carb, guys, low carb, high protein, moderate fat, low carb, dieted down for stage because I dieted down on lots of animal meats. It always sent me to the hospital and I was peeing blood. It was no fun. And by my 3rd time, my husband said to me, Marcia, this lifestyle isn't healthy. This is the 3rd time you've been to the hospital. This is not good. And he's literally telling me this, driving me to the hospital. And I, for some reason, I was like, well, I'm super fit. I'm starring on magazine covers and layouts. And, I had this delusion that just because I was fit and people saw me that way and I saw myself that way, this was a healthy diet. And it was not. So I had to go down my own journey of learning what was truly healthy, what was not. Because I wasn't eating processed foods. I wasn't, drinking. I wasn't doing any of that. I wasn't having caffeine. So when I went to the hospital the 3rd time, the doctor did raise an eye. He's like, an eyebrow. He's like, all right, what are you doing? Are you having copious amounts of caffeine? I'm like, no, I'm a fitness competitor. We don't drink caffeine when we diet down because you want to be as lean as you can. Caffeine dehydrates you. And you take it out for like 90 days and then you add it back for competition so you're able to pee it out because it's a natural diuretic. So you take it out for a long time so your body can function better without it. And so I was like, no, I'm not doing any caffeine. I'm a fitness competitor. And he was like, you're doing something because something is producing these kidney stones in your body. And so I was just like, I don't know. So I went to see the registered dietitian and she gave me the aha moment. I was not eating healthy. I had Orthorexia is what she named it. It was where you eat super clean and you work out and you're obsessed with it. I never heard the term. She goes, I think you have orthorexia. Because I would not eat cookies. I wouldn't touch anything processed. I was in the bodybuilding lifestyle. And she goes, let me see your diet, write it down. And I did. And she's like, you're eating way too much animal protein, like way too much. And this is what's causing you to get the kidney stones. It's just super high, super high fats, and then moderate to low carbs. This is very low carbs. And if you're really dieting down for stages, like no carbs. And so she was like, you know what, this isn't healthy for you. And I will be honest with you, you're going to get kidney disease or cancer or something to do with your liver later on. And she goes, we usually see this in Atkins patients. And I go, Atkins? But they're eating bacon and burgers and all. I wasn't eating any of that stuff, no cheese or bacon. And she goes, well, the thing is, they're very low carb, Atkins people is, and you got the same thing, but yours is just a healthier version of Atkins. And we see kidney stones all the time in Atkins patients. And I was like, wow, that's very enlightening. I had no idea. Like even somebody eating full-time processed food that's low carb, they are getting kidney stones. So I started to put 2 and 2 together, and she said, here's what you need to do. I only want you to try this for 30 days, just so you can kind of like regenerate your kidney, basically. She goes, I want you to go on a low protein diet. And I'm like, screeching halt. I'm like, wait a minute, low protein? Like that, to me, protein equated sexy. I thought protein was muscle. I was just so obsessed with protein. And she goes, no, you need to scale it back. You really don't need as much protein from animal meats that you think you do. People do it all the time. She goes, we do see a lot of unhealthy people who eat too much, or just fitness people in general. And I didn't know this. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm one of those fitness people that are preaching protein to everybody and my clients. And here I was not the picture of health. I was actually a walking billboard for what not to do. And here I was, a personal trainer telling my clients what to eat because it worked for me. And I was more about aesthetics of the body. I wasn't more about the health of the body. So she was kind of bringing a new light, like this diet is doing you a disservice. It's not about what you look like. I kept defending my exterior, but I look like this and I have to do this. And she's like, whoa, 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 you got to change your mindset. It's what can you eat to heal, like basically your gut microbiome. In this case, it's your kidneys. You need to protect your kidneys from eating this high protein diet, and you need to have more carbohydrates. You're not having enough carbohydrates. If anything, you're doing yourself a disservice, and you can get it'll lead to something worse later on. And so she gave me this, I'll never forget, guys, never forget. She gives me this diet. The word plant-based did not exist, okay? She gives me this paper and said, I want you to eat like this. And I saw the paper, and when she said low protein, and I see the word, and I go, a vegan diet? And she goes, vegan diet. And I was like, vegan? Like, it's so funny, I said vegan, like it's pagan or something. It's weird. And she goes, I only need you just for 30 days, then we gotta take your blood work, and we'll check your kidney levels and all that kind of stuff. I was like, okay. And sure enough, 30 days into it, because I've tried so many fad diets at this point, and I thought, what's another fad diet? I'm like, let's try this vegan diet for 30 days that's low protein. Because I really thought, oh my God, there's so much fruit. I was scared of fruit. You guys, I didn't eat bananas. Unless I was in my off-season building, I would eat bananas and strawberries. But if I was dieting down, I was not eating any fruit. So I was scared of fruit. I was scared of carbohydrates from Whole Foods. I was super scared. I thought I was going to get fat, blow up. I had it in my mind that I was going to lose all my muscle, what muscle did I really have? I was a thinner girl anyways. It's kind of funny to think about now. It's not like I had this stacked muscles, but anyways, I was like, oh my God, I'm going to lose my muscle and be skinny. And the word vegan, I knew what a vegetarian was. This is 10 years ago. I knew what a vegetarian was, and I knew they were skinny and gray. I was like, what? And then vegan was a whole new concept. They didn't have the term plant-based. I did not know what the heck vegan was. So I'm doing my research, and I'm like, this does not look good. Like, I don't want to do this vegan diet. Like, are you kidding me? And I was trying to follow what she was telling me. She was like, here, read these couple books. Like, you need to eat more raw foods. She actually made me see that I was eating a lot of cooked food. As a fitness competitor, I had a lot of cooked food. I was doing chicken, broccoli, rice, everything was cooked. I barely ate any raw foods. It was very rare if I did. I might eat some raw broccoli or something. But a lot of my stuff was cooked, and I wasn't eating enough. I would say I had a couple like fruits and vegetables that I would eat, and the rest was meat heavy or healthy fat heavy. And I was like, oh, I only can eat like berries. I can't have bananas. Like I was so strict on my nutrition. Robin says, I eat less than 1 cup of fruit a day. I'm scared of it. Yes, it's a mental thing, Robin. It's a mental thing. I was scared of it. I thought I was gonna get fat. And she recommended 2 books I'll never forget. Louise Ann Gittleman was a famous registered dietitian about 10 years ago, and she wrote a book called The Fruit Flush. She goes, I want you to do this fruit flush for 3 days. And I'm like, wait a minute, what? Because it was 3 days of eating fruit. And I'm like, oh my God, no, I'm gonna get fat, I'm gonna be huge. Like, there's no way. Literally, you guys, my mindset was not good. I had orthorexia, I'd been diagnosed from them, and I was scared to eat carbohydrates, I was scared to eat fruit, and I was scared to eat low protein. But another part of me was like, Marcy, you have to do this for your health. Like, do you want to go back to the doctor and get your kidney stones lasered again? Do you want kidney cancer? Like, now it's a health issue. My husband's concerned. He's like, I don't care what you look like. You can look like, the best woman in the world. Like you won Miss Bikini Universe. You're doing good, but you're not healthy. You're just not healthy, and we need to fix this. So I literally had to go get therapy, you guys. Got therapy for my mind because I was like, okay, what do I do? How do I get out of this mindset? And basically, it wasn't like I switched the next day. I eliminated the meats like she told me, but I was adding more stuff. I would mainly live off more vegetable and beans, and I slowly added fruit back because I was scared of fruit. So like Robin said, she was like 1 cup. I was like a little cup of berries here. And then I remember the time I had a banana. Like if it wasn't off season, I'm like, oh my God, a banana. Like it was like, oh my God, all the calories and sugar. But I soon learned when I started I thought, I'm not educated in nutrition like I thought I was. So I went and got my certification in nutrition to learn more about it. And once I learned that, I got my plant-based certification, I got a regular nutrition certification, because those are like for the regular people and meat eaters, and then for the plant, I want to know in detail, like, what do I need? I go to conferences every year, and it's all deals with nutrition. And as you could say, I would say I'm obsessed with nutrition. And so I was like, I got to figure this out because I want to be healthy. At the end of the day, the reason why I became a trainer and health coach and all that fun stuff in the fitness world is to be healthy. And I want to practice what I preach and share that with you guys. So I went to therapy, and it was adding more fruits, more vegetables. And let me tell you, and when you go to therapy, whether someone's had orthorexia, anorexia, or binge eating, I was not either one of those. I didn't binge eat, and I didn't have orthorexia. Mine was just, I was scared to eat certain fruits and vegetables. I was scared to, I was eating like 2,500 calories a day. I was eating ample calories, and I still worked out. But the bad thing was I was scared of a lot of stuff. So I had to retrain my brain and get educated on nutrition. I read every book there was out there. I still do read, obviously Fiber Fuel, it's one of my favorites. So read everything out there so I can get educated in nutrition. So 10 years ago when this happened, I saw this whole new light, and I was like, oh my God, I guess I'm gonna compete as a vegan bodybuilder. So I did, and I competed as an IFBB Bikini Pro as a vegan. Back then, everybody ate meat to compete. I was keeping it under wraps. I didn't want to tell anybody that I was not eating meat. So I reached out to Robert Cheek, who was a famous vegan bodybuilder, and I said, help. I just got diagnosed with orthorexia. I was eating tons of meat, and I went to the hospital 3 times with kidney stones. Like, here's my story. Can you help me build muscle on a vegan diet? And he said, yeah, I can. And obviously he won numerous awards and titles with him being a vegan bodybuilder. And so I did not know he was going to reach out to me, but he said, actually, I know who you are. And I said, what? I was like pretending like I'm just a regular Joe, right? He goes, I have your Iron Man magazine. You're on the cover of Iron Man, and I know who you are. He said, I would be honored to give you this diet. I was like, oh my God, he knows who I am. But of course, he was in the bodybuilding world, so I was like, oh my God, that is so funny. And he constructed this diet that would help me compete vegan. And I started learning throughout the journey of this, applying my own trial and error, what worked and what didn't work. So whether you're trying to put on muscle, compete, or diet down, these are 3 different things, okay? Like if you're trying to bulk, you're trying to shred, or if you want a lifestyle of it, there are 3 different categories, and there's methods to the madness to all of them. Okay, so like Robin, it depends on where you're at. Are you trying to build more muscle? Are you trying to diet down? Do you want to compete? Like, these are things that we need to know and assess so we can put you on the right path and the right journey to get there, right? So I bulked up as a vegan competitor, and I leaned down on it, and guess what, guys? To my surprise, I was eating fruit, nuts, and carbs all the way to the stage, dieted down, ripped and shredded, and it was beautiful. I never told anybody my secret because people were like, like looking at me like, what are you eating? Like, I was like, I have salad, or I'm having this, or I'm having that. And they're like, what? Like, literally, they were freaking out what I was eating backstage. But I never said I was vegan. I never told them. I was too scared to tell people back then because it was really unheard of as a vegan fitness competitor. And even to me, I was still shocked that I was competing with no meat because that was the base of my diet. So I was having beans. I mean, that was the bulk of my diet, was having beans. And back then I was into protein powders, which I don't have protein powders now. Like, if I was dieting down, I didn't have them. But if I was on bulking season, I would have them. Like I said, there's a method to the madness. So you said lean my midsection. I'm too old to compete at 51. You're never too old. And yes, you compete at 50. You can compete at 51. Yes, you can. I've seen it. I just trained a husband and wife team. They were 60 a couple of years ago, and they won first place on the stage at 60 years old. So you're never too late if you want to do it just for fun or one and done. Like, you guys, that's how I met Jackie. I trained Jackie online. She was my client. We had such great synergy. Jackie thought she could go to stage like in 90 days. And I had looked at her and I'm like, you're going to take about a year. She's like, what? And I'm like, yeah, I know. I mean, you don't have enough. She was a yoga girl and she liked to run and she did functional training. But I'm like, you're going to have to amp it up. And, you're shorter. It looks like you can put on some muscle. She had a great base to work with. And it did. It took her a year. 11 months later, she got on that stage. She got top 5. She got 4th place. And I was like, yes. So, and Jackie was 48 years old. And for Jackie, it was just a one and done. She just wanted to do it, just to have the experience. And she did it plant-based, ate fruit, carbs all the way to the stage. So it was just a fun thing for her. She didn't want to do it again after that. She just had her moment and was great with that. For me, I did it competitively. It was a career. I did it for 10 years, and I did 5 of it as a meat eater and the other 5 as a plant-based eater, which was beautiful. So, Robin, you're never too old for sure. If you wanted to go compete, I can lead you that direction. But if you just want to look fit, then that's another thing too. Lean in my midsection. Okay, so midsection, that is all about nutrition, and there is a method to the madness. So Robin, you and I could probably get together off to the side to talk more, get more into your goals, because we have these things called the Plant Chicks plate. And I created these plates on how fitness competitors can eat plant-based. So instead of doing macros, it's not any macros, you have these plates, and I give you these ratios of protein, carbs, and fats. And we switch out the plates as you go through, as we see your progress. And what's crazy is that's still my specialty. I train a lot of fitness competitors to this day. I've trained paleo and keto girls. They couldn't, I remember this one girl, she could never win a competition. She did 12 competitions, and it was more like the paleo keto style to diet down. And she's like, I'll try you. I'm gonna try it plant-based, why not? And 90 days later, well, the reason why I say 90 is because she's already fit, ripped, took many years to get that. Boom, she competes 90 days plant-based, goes on the stage and wins first place. I'm like, yes! So that was fun. I love taking a meat eater and making him a plant eater and taking him to the stage ripped and shredded. I've had some of my friends, one of my dearest friends that are paleo people, they thought I was crazy going plant-based in the beginning. And now, guess what? They're plant-based, and they're asking me to train them for the stage. So you guys, like behind the scenes, you asked Jackie, my passion is training people to the stage, no matter what age. The oldest ones I've trained are in their 60s. So that was beautiful to see this husband and wife couple train for a year. It took them a year to train. He lost 50 pounds, she lost 22. And they're like peeling off the layers. And she thought, oh, I'm old, I'm on hormone stuff. She had every excuse in the book. And I'm like, there's a method to the madness. We're gonna train a certain way. We're gonna switch out these Plant Chicks plates. And then let's just see the progress as you went. And of course, you know, when you coach somebody, you have to give good feedback. The client has to give me feedback of what's going on, what's working, what doesn't, because we pull certain things and add certain things. And sure enough, they both went on stage and they won. And I literally, because I trained them online for a year, I flew out to watch them compete. That was just the highlight. They were my oldest clients that were competing, and I had been through this year journey with them. It would be a shame for me not to go watch them. So I did, so I went and watched them, and it was such a beautiful journey. And to this day, it's a highlight of training somebody when people are like, I'm too old. You're never too old. I used to think I was too old, like in my 30s for some reason. As I got into my 40s, got plant-based, and I shifted my mindset, I don't think I'm old. I don't know. It's just kind of interesting. Let's see. You say, Robin says I cook most of my veggies too. Yes. But you want to have a mix of fresh and, you know, cooked. I would like to talk to you, I would say offline too, Robin, to get a little bit more into your story and see where you're coming from. And like I said, you're never too old. Kelly said, I love bodybuilding. Yes, I do too. I was like a female meathead at the time. Lindsay said, I'm primarily a runner who weight trains a few days a week. Do you make plans for people who don't necessarily use lifting as a primary exercise source? Yes. So yours is going to be a little bit different because I know everybody has their own shtick. Some people like weights, some people like, well, I would say strength training, other people like cardio, and other people like flexibility, like yoga, bar, and stuff, and more of a lighter type of exercise. It just kind of depends on where you're at in your journey of life. And yes, so I would say if you're a runner, your nutrition is going to be different from somebody that's a bodybuilder. So yes, we've trained tons of runners. I actually was a runner before the bodybuilding thing for a while too. Not plant-based, but I mean, I've trained plant-based runners now, like marathon runners. And that's like, oh wow. So here's the thing with building muscle. Yes, you can build muscle on a plant-based diet. But here's the thing, if you're really wanting to put on muscle, two things are going to go in factor. The first one, genetics. Let's go with the very first one, how you're coming out of the womb and genetics. Let's use my story. I was a skinny little kid, couldn't put on weight forever. And even when I lifted with weights, I was still skinny. I could eat an ample amount of calories and not gain a pound. Or I would say, even though I was fit and I was super toned, I'll have to show you guys pictures and you can see all my muscles and stuff, I was still on the thinner side, okay? So just being 5'9", I looked more, I would say svelte kind of look, you know, versus, you know, full. So I just had a thinner bikini body build, I would say a bikini bodybuilder look versus the fuller bodybuilder look. So you have to go with genetics first. When I was a personal trainer at the gym, people would come to me with a magazine and go, I want to look like this. And I would say the same thing what I told myself. That's not a look, that's a lifestyle. And someone would bring me, somebody like a short gymnast who puts on a lot of muscle, will bring me a Victoria's Secret girl and be like, I'm gonna look like this. And I'm like, okay, you can't look like that. That is genetics. Like you have to be realistic with yourself. Like what are your genetics, okay? And not to say that it can't be done, because I've seen people like myself, the skinny kid and the skinny girl, and somebody who's been obese, get on stage and win a bodybuilding competition. I've seen it all. I've seen people with cancer go up there. I've seen, like, they come back from cancer. I've seen people, you know, lose 300 pounds and go on stage. So it can be done. It just, it's going to take time. That's another thing. So that's time. So if you have genetics, just kind of depends, it's time. Second, if you're really, you don't have to be even competing, but if you want that look, the competitor look, whether you're competing or not, because I have people saying, I don't want to go on stage, but I want to look like I could go on stage. Okay, so if you want that look, you have to live the lifestyle. You guys, it's not just, oh, eat these foods, do these workouts, you're going to get it. No, you have to, you have to do a lot of things. So when I first learned in my bodybuilding world, this is my first thing that I ever learned was discipline. It was the discipline of going to the gym, working out heavy. It was the discipline of meal prepping my foods, making my foods. It was the discipline of going to sleep, because you have to have 8 to 9 hours of sleep to build muscle and to burn fat. It regulates your hormones, everything in your body. And sleep is your friend. It's like the number one thing as a bodybuilder is sleep. You can't build muscle or burn fat if you're only going off 4 or 5 hours, or maybe 6 hours of sleep. It's not your friend. You have to sleep. So you got to really condition. So sleep hygiene was very important. You have to drink a lot of water, okay? So when you're going through this lifestyle and you're eating food, like I would say a lot more food than if you were trying to lose weight, you have to have all those fibers moving through you. You have to drink a lot of water to make the fiber move through your body. You do have to eat more protein as a bodybuilder, I would say. If you're a regular person doing health and fitness, you don't have to worry about your protein. You're going to get through all your plants, right? You're going to get ample protein. But as a bodybuilder, like to keep it going, to heal it, to nourish it, to build it, you are going to have a little more protein intake than I would say someone who's just going to the gym for regular health and fitness, or somebody who's just trying to lose weight. Like, I'm just going to try and lose 20 pounds, or I'm going to lose 50 pounds or whatever. Your protein thing is different. Now, when you get into the heavy lifting, it's just a whole different lifestyle. So you want to make sure, one, you're getting enough sleep, okay? Because you want to be able to rebuild the muscle that you've worked so hard in the gym and that you've nourished it with food. And then you also want to burn the fat. If you're eating the right foods, like the right ratios, everybody has different ratios. This is what I learned as a health coach. Some people are going to do better off higher fat, low carb. Other people are going to do better off higher carb, low fat. Everybody needs protein. Let's just get that over with. Everybody needs protein, whether it's plant protein or whatever. But fats and carbs are where we manipulate to see what works for you. So what I found out worked for me was I could diet down off carbs. And where originally I did not, remember? I was the meat eater with lots of fat, low carb, did it for many years. But when you switch it around, now my body was dieting down off carbs, but I kept my fat lower. And then I had moderate protein. So I had moderate protein, high carb, low fat. But I do have clients that are moderate protein, high fat, low carb. So it's just one of those things where we got to manipulate just right. And it is trial and error. Like, I can't say, oh, this is going to work for you. No, let's play with your ratios, see where you're at. And you're taking pictures every 30 days. Because people think it's a 90-day program. In 90 days is nothing, my friend. Unless you come from a very fit place and you're dieting down, then that's a different story. But if you're trying to like really get into it, find out what works for you, it's going to take longer than 90 days. It's really going to take 6 months to a year to find out what works for you. So when when people just want a healthy gut, it's low and slow, right? Same thing as bodybuilding. It's very slow. It's a slow build and to see what works. The average person I train for a fitness competition is 8 months to a year. 8 months to a year. You're not going to do it in 90 days. It's going to be 4 90-day programs at least. So we have these packages and people look like, oh, I want the 120-day package. And I'm like, that's just to get you started, but that's not where you're going to end up. So I'm very upfront with my clients. If somebody tells you you can do it in 90 days on the stage and you have 20 or 40 pounds to lose, you're probably breaking your back and killing yourself to get to the stage. It's probably a fad diet, a crash diet, and they're making you do all this craziness stuff, and it's just not good. So if you want to think like an athlete, competitive level, you've got to do it slow build. Work with a coach, work with somebody who's done it before. Don't hire a coach who's never competed. I don't see how people can do that. If the coach hasn't been through the experience themselves, why would you hire that coach? So make sure you hire a coach who's competed before and they kind of have proof of it, right? Like, did you compete? Like, I want to see these pictures. But it doesn't mean your coach that you pick will actually know what they're talking about. I mean, everyone's different. I mean, I'm not saying that I know everything. I don't. But what I do know is I stay educated. I always get my certifications updated. I go to medical conferences. I like science. This is me. I come from the background. I went to school for nursing, didn't become a nurse, and then going more into the exercise physiology thing. So for me, you know, it's like, and there needs to be science. There has to be science. And you want your trainer educated in the science of nutrition. Because guess what, guys? What works today may not work tomorrow. I mean, everything's changing. One day butter's good for you, and then the next thing you know, butter's not back, right? So everything changes in the health and fitness world. And I myself have to be on my toes from year to year. And I go to, like Jackie and I went to the American College of Lifestyle Medicine, where these doctors get these certifications in lifestyle as medicine. And it's a very hard certification for them to get. And we went to this conference, we got to hear all the greats speak. It was just amazing, and we learned so much science, like the facts, like this is what's going on, all the real science, the data, all the studies. They're presenting it at this conference. You want people like that are up on the stuff. Not only did I read this book, I listened to the book. Just 2 times, okay? So I like to learn, I want to know what's going on, so I could cite these studies and just have that information for myself, so when I have it, I can pass it on to you and I know what I'm talking about versus just reciting it from the book. So just know whoever you hire, you want to make sure they've been through the process, and you want to coach. This is what I learned about coaching. It's not about the nutrition and it's not about the exercise. It is about non-skill victories, getting you in to what works for you, because what works for me is not going to work for you. There's no one size fits all. It's like, let's find what's going to work for you. What's your current goal? What's the goal that you want to get to? And let's achieve that together. And let me keep you accountable to get to your goal. That's how that works. I work with you on non-skill victories, but I'm also going to bring you science. So Jackie and I love this book so much. We met Dr. B a year ago, and we reached out to him and said, hey, obviously we knew him for a year, but his book just came out. And I said, we would love to pair up with you and do a fiber fueled challenge. Jackie and I are obsessed with the gut microbiome and the science of it. And we want to just, do a free challenge and help people get healthier. There's nothing better than a free challenge, right? I mean, cost of a book, $20. But a free challenge to get to know people, to get educated, and start you on your journey, or maybe just reignite your journey wherever you're at. Okay, so let's see a couple questions right here. Angela Leslie, do you think the Peloton bike is good for cardio? Yes, my friend, I have one. I have Peloton. I think different forms of cardio are great for you, whether it's HIIT training, you're running outside, Peloton bike, whatever. Because remember, cardio is not just for fat loss. People always, I need to do cardio for fat loss. It keeps your heart pumping and strong. Cardio is for your heart, you guys. It's the most important muscle right here. Besides your gut and your brain, is actually your heart is the most important muscle. It keeps you alive. A lot of guys want to lift. My husband's one of those guys who wants to lift. I'm like, honey, you gotta do some cardio. Your biceps not gonna keep you alive, my friend. Your heart is. You need to get some cardio in. My husband loves Peloton too, so we share the Peloton. So yes. Here's my advice for a well-rounded program. This is talking from somebody who is into the whole exercise physiology and kinesiology. 3 things. Cardio for your heart, to keep everything strong and the blood flow and all that great stuff. Strength training for your muscles and your bones. You have to do strength training. If you just focus on cardio, you're missing out on strength training. Peloton is great, but it's not weight bearing. There's no weight there. You have to lift. Okay, and the third, sorry, my phone, somebody rang. And the third one is flexibility. So cardio, strength, and flexibility makes for a well-rounded workout program. So if you've been following some of the workout programs from the Plant Chicks calendar, we have HIIT, which is high intensity interval training. You're using body as weight, it's weight bearing, but it's also cardio as well. There's LIT, low intensity. You're still using your body, but it is cardiovascular, but not as aggressive. There's yoga for flexibility. So I believe in a well-rounded program has cardio, strength, and flexibility. If you're too heavy, which back in the day I was the bodybuilder meathead girl, I was all into strength training, and I was like, I only do cardio when I diet down. And then I was not into yoga for sure. But as I had muscle imbalances, I was contracting, my back hurt. I had so much muscle imbalances because all I did was lift. I only did cardio to diet down, and I did not do yoga or any type of stretching or flexibility. I was that one that stretched for 2 seconds. I'm like, okay, I'm good. So I had to learn to be patient because I have that monkey mind. Like to me, like yoga, I was like, oh my God, I can't do this. Like it's so boring. I'm not burning calories. I kept equating, me not burning calories or pumping out a sweat like I wasn't getting a good workout. You could still get a great flexibility workout and strength workout with yoga. You could still get a great strength training and cardiovascular workout with HIIT. So you guys keep it fresh, keep it mixed up. Don't just stick with one. And the runner, I'm glad that you do strength training. You have to do that. I hope you do some flexibility with your running as well, because I know flexibility and stretching is very important with running. So let's see right here. How much fiber a day do you recommend for a female bikini bodybuilder? Okay, this is Kelly. That's going to depend on your height, weight, age, and your goals. What you're going to do. So I would have to assess that with you because I have a system that we have on our computer that we put all this stuff in and plug in. So I don't know your height, weight, or age, and this will let me know what you will need, okay? So just FYI. Somebody who is 5'2" is going to need different calories and ratios from somebody who is 5'9". Now, I could take two 5'9" people like myself, and one of my good friends, Amanda, she's like, boom, like muscular. She was born muscular out of the womb, and she can eat way more calories than me, put on a lot more muscle. Her and I have different needs also because it kind of depends on your body type too. So we'd have to check that out as well. If I ate as much calories as she did with her ratios and as much protein, just because you eat more protein, okay, here's the thing, or more fiber or whatever, it's like how much fiber do you need and all that stuff, everyone's gonna be different. What works for Amanda does not work for me. So I have to find my own ratios, and that's the beauty about it. You have to be on the self-discovery path to find out. But as a whole, I would say the recommended dietary intake, they say for a regular person, for a woman, is 25 grams of protein, 25 grams of fiber a day, and men need 38 grams of fiber a day. You know, that's a low end, Kelly, so I would definitely say fiber, if I'm just thinking about for the average person, would be about 50, and if you're a bodybuilder, it's gonna be between 50 and 70 somewhere. So about 70 grams of fiber. I would say Jackie and I average when we were doing our competitions, when we calculated it out, we had about 80. So I was telling my bodybuilders, you know, whether you're bikini or fitness, aim for 80, because Jackie and I had a program called Aim for 80. So you'd aim for 80 grams of fiber. Did you hit it all the time? No, because it depends on the day. You're gonna have different calorie expenditure if you do a leg day versus an arm day. Different calorie expenditure if you do cardio versus legs. So there's, like I said, there's so many factors, and you don't want to just focus on the fiber amount. You want to focus on, like Dr. B said, the plant diversity, and we have these plant chicks plate ratios. So when you focus on the ratios, that's how you're able to diet down or bulk up, that kind of thing. So it kind of depends where you're at. If somebody wants to lose fat around the abdominal, it's going to depend on what you are eating. Different foods affect you differently. It also depends on age. So say Kelly's 51. It could be a little bit of that, could be hormones. Hormones could be affecting you. So we're going to have to play with it. When I started out plant-based, my nutrition was different from me at 35 and now I'm 45. It's completely different. If I want, plus I have different goals this time. Like I got off bodybuilding for a while to give my body a break, and I challenged myself into Peloton, bar, yoga. I was trying to do really competitive yoga. You guys, when I get into something, I get super competitive. I wanted to do a headstand on the water, on a what do you call those things? Not a surfboard, I guess a paddleboard. So I'm like, I want to be able to do a headstand on a paddleboard in the water. I mean, that's how. So I started getting into yoga majorly just to try it, because at the time I could leg press 400 pounds, right? But I couldn't lift my own body up. And I was like, wait, that's kind of weird. So I started learning a different strength, and I started getting into yoga. I still did functional training, you know, for my muscles, because I know that's super important. But I got into more of like, I'm going to be this yoga guru. But I never became one. But I had a photo shoot for Sun Warrior magazine. For Sun Warrior protein powder for their ads for strength. And here I am doing a headstand on a paddleboard in the water. Took me 10 tries, and I was doing it for the first time in front of a whole crew. This whole crew was filming me, and I was like, I don't know if I could do it. I'm like, let's do this the last shot because my hair and makeup will get messed up. And they were like, yeah, let's do it the last shot. The 10th try is when I got up. They shot it. It was beautiful. And I'm very proud of that moment because I've never done it again after that. But I still love yoga to this day. So I do think, especially the older you get, the more flexibility that you need. So fiber, I would say, if you're averaging, like with ratios, I have to know what your height, weight, and age is. But I would say the average bodybuilder would probably get 50 grams of protein, 50 to 70. Ashley, you missed lifting weights. Let's get you back to lifting weights. Here's the thing, over 30, you start losing 10% of muscle mass and bone density each decade. So if you don't use it, you will lose it. It is super important to get some type of weight-bearing exercise, whether it's resistant bands, HIIT, LIT, bodybuilding, whatever. You need to go in there and really think of more, not just for aesthetics, okay? I used to be all into the aesthetics. Now I'm about, oh my God, what's it doing to my bones? If you do not lift weights, I'm just telling you, for many, many years over 30, you will start getting spongy bones. They get real brittle, and that obviously is osteoporosis, osteopenia into osteoporosis, porosis. And if you break a hip, you can get sick, and you know what happens to older people. You can end their life. So you want to keep strength training as if there's like a little triangle, right? You have cardio, flexibility, and strength training. Keep it like a little triangle. Try to hit every part of the triangle. Got my strength, got my flexibility, got my cardio. Because it's well-rounded, that's going to make you have a healthy body. If you focus on one thing like I did back, just only strength training or just only yoga, you're really missing out on benefits from the other stuff. I feel the best when I have a little bit of everything, a little bit of strength training, a little bit of cardio, in hitting different stuff and a little bit of flexibility. I just feel my best. And when I'm consistent, consistency needs to be your superpower. Don't just do a program for like a 90 days and get off, because obviously it doesn't last. It's better for you to do it a few times a week instead of go all in, right? So you want to be consistent with eating diversity of plants, consistent with eating, I would say with working out, consistent with sleep hygiene, getting enough sleep. I used to train this newscaster, and she was like, in the morning news all the time, but she would get up at 1:30 in the morning, and that way she can get up, wake up a little bit. By 3 o'clock, she was in hair and makeup because she was on the news by 5 a.m. She was a Fox News anchor, and she also did CW33 News. And the thing with her, she kept gaining weight, gaining weight, gaining weight. She was eating healthy, she was working out, she was drinking water, she was doing all the things. What she wasn't doing is getting enough sleep. And it was messing with her circadian rhythm, waking up at 1:30 in the morning. So they do say, like, nurses or people who, I would say their sleep circadian rhythm is off, they're gonna have a harder time with losing weight. You could do all the things right, but you're not gonna lose weight if you do not have the right sleep hygiene. There's a book, my favorite book in the world on sleep, is called Sleep Smarter, okay? Sleep Smarter. I'll put it in the comments here. Please read it, please follow, listen to the audio. That was a game changer for me. It changed my life about sleep hygiene, okay? And it's an easy read, just like Dr. B's. And this guy has an amazing podcast called the Model Podcast, where he models the healthy lifestyle stuff. So basically, this book taught me all the sleep hygiene I know. Sleep is important. It regulates your hormones. You're able to think better. You're sharper versus if you don't sleep. When that's saying that I'll sleep when I die, don't do that. You'll die if you don't get enough sleep. We're at the American College of Lifestyle and Medicine. There was this fit marathon runner doctor. She was speaking on there, and she was telling us that she was a doctor, had kids, was a marathon runner. She was doing all this stuff. She was just overexerting herself in life. And she ended up getting sleep apnea. And she was skinny and fit. You don't have to be overweight to have sleep apnea. And her busy lifestyle, not getting enough sleep, and the sleep apnea, she was on her way to death. She was going to die. She wasn't getting any REM sleep to heal her body, her mind, her hormones, everything. That they just said, basically, you can have a heart attack and die. Like, you need to prioritize sleep as your number one. Because she was working out, eating all the right foods, drinking the water, but she wasn't getting enough sleep, and she was overexerting herself into, let's say, the exercise area, because she was a marathon runner. So she learned to balance a few things, ended up getting the sleep apnea surgery so she could breathe, and became healthier. So she had done all these sleep studies. So she had this huge, it was very eye-opening on the power of sleep. So sleep is very important, guys. Make sure you get it. Like, I understand if you're a new mom and you have kids and stuff, it may not be feasible, but sleep where you can, because even a nap can get you a little bit of sleep, and it's important, and it can help your body versus not getting a nap in. So if you can, nap. Ashley said, this challenge has been a blessing. Thank you. You guys are a blessing. I'm not kidding you. You guys are motivating us, and we love it. It's so beautiful that we get to learn and grow from each other. So I love it. So thank you. Robin's like, strength is my fave. Yes, that's usually my go-to, just being the skinny girl. I'm always like, oh my gosh, everyone's calling me skinny. I need to get fit, you know. So that's usually my go-to, but I do try to have a well-rounded with the cardio and with the flexibility, so I actually look and feel my best. Oh, I'm frozen. Oh no. I'm like, uh-oh. That's what happened last night. If you guys saw the live last night, I kept freezing. It was awful. Don't you burn calories after a long workout if you lift weights and cardio once you're done? Yes. So Robin, you will burn more calories in the long run when you lift weights versus if you do cardio, okay? So it's like the whole epoch theory on how much calorie you burn. That's why it is important to do strength training and cardio. So if you're doing the both of them, no matter what the combo is, whether you do HIIT or you do maybe some bodybuilding with some cardio, try to fuse the two together if you can. That is where you're gonna see your best results, is strength and cardio, not just one or the other. But yeah, I do get, yes, Robin, there's some people that are cardio queens that all they do is this cardio, and you're not gonna be able to burn fat or as effectively or burn fat, okay? Because your body does get used to, I would say cardio after a while. So here's a couple things, 2 little fun facts. It takes 8 weeks to be strength fit, okay? And it takes 12 weeks to be cardiovascular fit. So it takes time to get there, but once you get there, you gotta keep up in the ante to keep conditioned, right? Keep your muscles conditioned, your bones conditioned, your heart conditioned. So just make sure you have a combination of strength and cardio, super important. Is it me or is it Marcia, the freezing? I don't know. I guess I am it could be me, I don't know. Let's see. Thanks for your answer. I'm pretty good with macros, but not good about how much fiber I should be taking a day. I would say if you're focusing on plant diversity, you're good. And here's another thing too. Remember Dr. B said there's soluble and insoluble fibers. So you want 2 types of fibers. So you want to make sure you get fibers like from grains and fibers from greens. The mix of the fibers is good. You don't just want to focus on one fiber. I have to say in the bodybuilding world, it's like I focused on leaning down on all greens, so one type of fiber. And no wonder why we ate so much meat, the healthy fat, and low vegetables, and I wasn't getting enough fiber. I probably was maybe getting 10, maybe 15 grams of fiber a day, which is not good enough. You need way more fiber than that. Okay, I'll have to show you the picture, Ashley. Actually, I have a show and tell for you. Robin Bates says, yes, the triangle, cardio, strength, flexibility. Try to get them all 3 in. And whatever you're not good at, like back in the day I was against yoga and then I started getting into it. It takes your mind and your body time to adjust. To like say, I hated yoga. I was like, this is boring. This is slow. It was just like, because I had like monkey mind. Like I needed to be like aggressive in the gym. That was my philosophy and belief. But then I learned as I got through time, I'm like, this yoga stuff is hard. And then so it was challenging me and I was feeling better. And then my back was I wasn't having all these muscle imbalances. So try not to have any muscle imbalances if you can. Well-rounded is best. You want to make sure too, if you're doing resistant bands, body weights, you want a combination of everything because you're using different muscle fibers too. Just like when you run, you use different muscle fibers than when you do strength training. So you want to hit the different muscle fibers, you want to eat the different plants, the different fibers, everything. It's all about fiber. But I wouldn't focus just on like the amount of fiber. As long as you have plant diversity, I think you're golden. Check out that book. Yes, you definitely got to check that book out. It's called Sleep Smarter. Marcia, you and Jackie should post bodybuilding pics in the group. I will. I'll post all my stuff. And you guys, it's OG, like back in the day. We have these horrible orange tans. Okay, they're so horrible. And it's so funny. Back in the day when I had the competition bikinis, we just had a little bit of sparkles. By the time it got to Jackie 10 years later when she competed, it was blinged out. Like in my day, they weren't so blinged out. It's kind of funny. And now these competition bikinis are like ding, like a disco ball. They're kind of funny. Let's see right here. Did you drop weight when you started the plant-based diet? No, I actually didn't. Here's the kind of crazy thing. When I was doing all that bodybuilding, I kind of messed up my metabolism because I was going from high carb, low carb, high carb, low carb. It was awful. So it took me really a year to regulate my metabolism. The first year when I went plant-based, I didn't gain any weight. I actually lost inflammation. So if that makes sense, I was the same weight, but I was less puffy. You could see my muscles more, and I actually had more energy. So it was about reducing the inflammation. I didn't realize I was creating so much inflammation in my body. I just thought, oh my God, I'm puffy and I'm getting fat. But it wasn't that I was puffy or getting fat. It was I had inflammation. And even though I was the same weight, my inches went down. So remember, reducing inflammation, my inches went down. So you can be the same weight, but lose inches, right? Maybe not, you don't lose weight, but you feel better and you lose inches. So sometimes when my clients get on a plateau, they're like, oh my God, I've been on this for 2 months. You have to let your metabolism catch up, because your body's at a set temp point where it is like regulating on a metabolism, like cellular level. Your metabolism is regulating on a cellular level. It's got to catch up. You can't be like, I'm gonna lose 10 pounds and you're gonna lose it. You just can't. Your body has to take time to do its thing, and it's going to take time, and you're going to hit plateaus, and that's okay. You just got to like change things up, whether it's nutrition on a plateau, changing up workout, maybe getting more sleep, drinking more water. And it really is basic things, guys. It's not a magic pill, nothing. People always think it's a magic pill, and it's not. Yeah, it's the variety of things, the variety of plants and fibers, and the variety of muscle fibers in your body. How beautiful does that correlate? Remember, in your body, when you eat tons of fiber, I think it was chapter 3, you create short chain fatty acids. So the more short chain fatty acids you have, right, you reduce inflammation and you get more energy. And the same thing with exercise. When you exercise, you create more short chain fatty acids. But if you get off eating healthy, you get off, well, I say eating plant-based with more fibers, and get off working out, get more sedentary, you start losing those short chain fatty acids. So you're always in this, I would say, like this teeter-totter thing. You want to build them, you want to keep building. You just go up the stairs of the short chain fatty acids, right? Don't let it teeter back the other way. Just go back up, go up the stairs. Even if you fall down the stairs a couple times, that's okay. Everything is a process, and that's the beauty. Okay, Robin asked about supplements. Yes. So if you're a regular person, I would say you don't need the supplements as far as branched chain amino acids or glutamine, right? If you're just doing normal exercise for workout and health, you don't need it. But if you're a competitive side, or if you're into bodybuilding, or you want to look like a bodybuilder and you're putting the time in the gym, from the heavy strength training to, I would say, bodybuilding to powerlifting, yes, you want branched chain amino acids. I always tell my competitors, you have that through your competing, whether you're building or dieting down. And you want glutamine, okay? So branched chain amino acids will help you build. And then glutamine will actually help you, I would say, heal the muscle, right? It's one of those things that helps heal it. So those are the two things, branched chain amino acid. There is a lot of research and science on that. And glutamine. Those are the two things. Of course, I would say B12, every competitor. If you're going the plant-based way and you're not eating animal products, you do need a B12. Another thing is to check your blood levels. Like do your lab work. Check to see where you're at. I like to check mine. I go to my regular doctor once a year. We check my lab work. But I also do it in the middle of the year too, 6 months later. I'm a numbers girl. I'm a stats girl. And I like to see where I'm at. I like to see where my B12 is at, my vitamin D. There was a time of the period for 4 or 5 years I was low in vitamin D. And of course, by research and fixing that, I'm back up to normal levels of vitamin D. So really pay attention to your blood work, see where you're at. But yes, I do recommend branched chain amino acids, and glutamine would be the two staples if you're more into the bodybuilding. Now, if you're just regular doing Pilates, yoga, maybe doing some Peloton, you don't need it. So just FYI. All right, you guys ready for show and tell? This is kind of funny. This is hilarious. Get ready to laugh. Ah! This is me on the cover of Iron Man magazine. So this is Greg Plitt. He was one of my friends in the world, and he passed away a few years back. He got hit by a train doing a commercial for a supplement company. So it just like broke my heart. We starred on numerous things together. We were signing autographs at different expos and stuff. It's so funny. But I had won Miss Bikini Universe, and that was in 2007. It was June of 2007, and this came out, what was the thing? March 2008. So this is from 2008. Let me see if I can find the layout for you. It is kind of comical, like when I think back. You guys, I was in all these bodybuilding magazines with all these steroid guys. There's a dirty side to bodybuilding. A lot of these guys, they did a lot of steroids, even girls. I didn't realize people were on steroids. I was like, wait a minute, people do this? Hold on, this is such a big magazine. I didn't realize what a big magazine this is. So hold on, I'm so sorry. I should have like bookmarked the page for you. I'm like, where is it? It's kind of funny. Oh, here's one of my ads. This is funny. For a sexy ad for a testosterone booster, which we found out later doesn't really work. But I was like, woohoo! You're like, you look like a celebrity. Well, thank you. I appreciate it. Oh, here we go. Oh my gosh, get ready. This is old school too. I feel like it's 1980s or something, but it's not. Here we go. Miss Bikini Universe. How hilarious is that? So they were like 2007, Miss Bikini Universe has out of the world physique. Okay, I don't know, this might be a little not PG enough. I hope you don't have any kids. If you have kids, tell them to go away, okay? I'm still in a bikini, but it looks not PG. It's a lot more booty. So I'm wearing a bikini, it's a thong. But look at that butt. I missed that butt. That was such a nice, those glutes were amazing. Man, those were the days, right? No, I was actually 35 with those, no, wait, see, 32. So it's kind of funny. It's just, and yeah, they were like giving out, there's like a whole layout and stuff. But anyways, that's funny. And then another one is, you know, this is crazy. I'm all these steroid magazines, this is muscular development. Here I am in the corner, and they have this whole big layout of me. You guys, this is so funny. I literally have like over 200 magazines that I have, and it's so funny to kind of go through them. You're like, oh my God, I looked like that? So I should have bookmarked this, you guys. I hate it when you're like trying to look and you're like, show me, and then I didn't bookmark it. And these things are so big. Like, look how thick these magazines were back in the day. And then here I am again, right here. So this was a very fun shoot. So these are like the days of, it just cracks me up. Like, it's so funny. Cracks me up. Well, thank you. You know what I have to say? It takes a lot of hard work. You know, that was a lot of work, even though somebody would see me in real life and go, oh my God, you're so skinny. It was a lot of hard work just to be fit. Doesn't matter if you're skinny, you're overweight, you're regular weight, you know what I mean? And then of course I did grace other magazines, like female magazines, like Fitness Magazine. I was in that too. And that's of course catered more toward females. As you can tell, these catered to men. Well, I've got a ton of those. Like I did a bunch of layouts. They were fun, it was a good time. And then this obviously caters to women. I've been in Oxygen magazine, Muscle and Fitness for Hers. It was a really good time. It was a fun time. And like I said, I stumbled in it. It wasn't like it was, I don't know. It was just very interesting, you know? So I was in all these different magazines. Look at my, and back then I had a 26-inch waist, which is crazy, insane. Because now my waist is like a 31. That's what happens when you get a little bit older. But of course, I'm not dieting down right now, you know, that kind of thing. So just, you know, like fun stuff, like super fit. And they kind of give you my whole workout program, what I did back then. So it's just kind of funny. So, you know, good times, good times. So thank you guys. I appreciate it. Abs for days, all those abs. I know. It was like, if you have a goal, okay, in mind, you can achieve it. It just takes time. And if the goal is, I want to get a six-pack, and it is more aesthetic that you're looking for, you're going to have to put some sacrifice and work to get there. And what I've learned is like, if you want just a healthy lifestyle, like what I lead right now, I have my cake and eat it too. So I'm 90-10. I always tell people, not 80-20. I think it gives people too much moderation. I do 90-10. So I commit to a 90% whole food, plant-based lifestyle. The other 10%, I'm gonna have a glass of wine, some champagne, a piece of cake. Like, I'm gonna do me, you know what I'm saying? So you need to do you as well. But you keep the results if you have more of a 90-10 ratio. Now, like my fitness competitors, when they go compete, I want them almost 95, right? They don't have to be 100. You could be 95% and diet down to the stage. You could still eat a piece of cake and not get fat, because people don't believe that. They're like, what? But if you're like 95%, you're gonna get there. You're gonna get there. One piece of cake isn't gonna destroy your results. It's continually eating cake that just destroys your results, right? Like one workout's not gonna get you fit. It's continuous workouts that are going to get you fit. So just know that, because people always think one cheat meal, like, oh my God, I'm having a cheat meal, it's gonna make me fat. No, you might feel inflamed, bloated, gross. One cheat meal doesn't make you fat. Even when people do one cheat day, it's a lot of food in a day. I don't think you should be doing one cheat day. But if you do a cheat day, okay, it's not going to kill you. You just go back and do damage control and start healing the gut microbiome and your body immediately to reduce the inflammation. That's where people go wrong. They're like, oh, well, screw it. And that says, thank you so much for the live. You're so welcome. You are so welcome, everybody. So welcome. 90-10. Yes, you can go back and listen to it. But at the end of the day, ladies, it just takes time. It takes time to be healthy, to master what works for you. And sometimes it is beneficial to work with a coach one-on-one to elevate you to the next level. So for instance, when I started a business, I didn't know what I was doing, right? And then I got to a certain point and I'm like, how do I scale up? How do I make more money? How do I do this? I had to hire a business coach. That's what I did. That way I can learn new tools, new tricks, and things that will get me on my journey. And not only did we hire one, I hired two. So, I didn't know the business part of it. Sometimes you may not know your body, but a coach will help you recognize things about your body, or maybe non-skill victories, things that you do in your daily life, whether healthy or bad habits. They help you recognize these things so you create healthier habits long term. So that's it for today's live of show and tell, my story. If you should be taking supplements, let's see what else to recap. You should have a well-rounded lifestyle when it comes to the exercise end. Make sure you have 3 things. Remember, number 1, strength training, 2, cardio, 3, flexibility. Not in that order. Try to have an equal amount of each, okay? All right, guys, have a great, rest of the week for this challenge. I'm having so much fun. And remember, pick a new food that you have never tried, introduce it to your gut microbiome, take a picture with us, give us a story. We want to know. You guys, I've seen this for years that never tried it at the Whole Food section. I'm like, that looks disgusting. But I did. I tried it in front of you guys and it was actually delicious. So who knows? I don't know how to eat it, but we'll figure that out later. All right. Thank you, Kelly. Thank you, everybody. Have a great day and keep posting, Fiber Fuelers.